Hello, and welcome back to The Cost of Silence, our Delta Green stream where we are currently running our poor agents through Convergence, one of the most storied Delta Green operations known throughout the land for wiping entire groups of agents. And when we left off, we were getting started on that a little bit. But just to recap a tiny bit so that everyone is up to speed. 4 agents of Delta Green. Oh, yes, hello. Oh. Yes, moment. I was just... I had our YouTube panel in another tab, and I just started hearing someone saying, "Hello, we're here!" And I was like, did Charlie show up? I didn't think Charlie was going to show up. Anyway. Minor technical difficulties there. Recapping. 4 agents have been dispatched to Groversville, Tennessee. The county seat, a hotspot for UFO investigators worldwide, known for cow probings, disappearances, lights in the sky. But what brought them here was nothing of the sort. Rather, it was an 18-year-old recent high school graduate by the name of Billy Ray Spivey, who seemingly accidentally, in a pain and fear-induced rage, punched a hole in his father's chest and then went on the run, city to city, across the eastern seaboard before he was finally shot many times by FBI agents, taken into custody. And this is where Delta Green came in, because not only was he in an unusual amount of pain, he had other changes to his body as well. His muscles, many of his tissues had been replaced by something unknown. And this brought our agents, Dr. Blake Harrington, aka Agent Jennifer, Kurt Becker, Agent Jasmine, Eli Yoder, Agent Jeb, and Michael Max Bauman, also known as Agent Java, being sent to Groversville to investigate, to see what, if anything, is behind all of this. The agents found a place to stay at Merle's Shut-Eye, a small roadside motel, the only roadside motel in Groversville. And we are now in the day after they have begun their investigation, and they've begun to interview some interested parties throughout the town. Agent Jasmine ended up taking an interest in another resident of Merle's Shut-Eye, a UFO conspiracy theorist and owner of a widely circulated UFO-centric zine by the name of Scott Adams. He checked into Merle's Shut-Eye several days ago, rented 2 rooms, and has not been seen for a couple of days. For various reasons, Mr. Becker decided that this was quite suspicious, enlisted the help of one of the front desk workers at Merle's Shut-Eye, got the key, and moved into the room. And that is where we left off. As You step into the room. You see very much like what I have pictured in Roll20. A very typical, if somewhat older and well-worn but clean motel room. The bed linens are pulled back. To get in, you had to push the door past a towel that had been wadded in front of it. When you open the door, all of the lights are off. There's no TV running. The phone has been unplugged from the wall. The generic alarm clock on the bedside table has even been unplugged. As far as you can tell, when you opened the door, there was no light, but there was the smell of blood. And that's where we left off. So again, paint me a picture. Tell me about what does it look like as Kurt makes his way into the room.
Kurt immediately recognizes that this is a bad scene, and so it's like he has almost subroutines or mechanisms in his brain that immediately switch on. So he is simultaneously using his training, sweeping the room, pointing the shotgun, being very tactical. I mean, it's not a big space. It's, I assume, a room with a bathroom and maybe a closet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not even as big as the room you've rented here.
But as I sweep the room, I remember last session there was Scott Adams's body in the tub. A lot of blood you'd mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to thoroughly, sweep the room initially, look for threats. As that's happening, every single light switch that is in arm reach, as I pass it, I'm switching the lights on. So there's that sort of tactical motions, but at the same time, he switches another part of his brain to he wants to take in all of the information. He doesn't want to hurry so much that he misses things. So he is, being tactically cautious, moving smoothly, but he's also trying to be hyper observant, hyper aware. What's weird? What seems out of place? What is just odd in this room? What stands out? And he's looking for some things. Because he believes, he's got a stopwatch that's kind of started in his head too. Like, he can't stay in there forever. He's got a limited amount of time to be in there, and then he has to come out and he's got to have a story when he comes out. So I'm immediately looking for I'm looking for keys, wallet. I'm looking for car keys, personal keys to the hotel room. If they're not on the desk or the dresser, I'm checking pants pockets, jacket pockets.
They're there on the top of the dresser to the right, next to the TV as you walk in, just where you would expect a man to empty his keys as he's coming in from a day.
Gotcha. Now, is it just the keys to 202? He rented two rooms, 202 and 218. Is it just the key to 202, or is it the key to 202 and the key to 218?
Just the key to this room, to 202.
Okay.
There's the key to what looks like a Chevy van that you saw downstairs, parked in the parking lot. Other personal keys. He's included the motel room's key onto his own keychain. And there's a well-worn leather wallet stuffed full of receipts sitting next to that.
Grabbing the wallet. I'll go through it later, but I'm grabbing the wallet. Immediately, is there like a notepad, notebook? I mean, obviously there's a laptop there, and we're going to put Max on that.
Right.
I mean, assuming I'm not in a shootout right now, which, if I am, let me know. Let's go.
Sure. Yeah, for the moment, nobody's shooting at you. But yeah, you scoop up that wallet, and this is when you turn the corner and see Scott Adams in the tub. apparently exsanguinated.
Gotcha.
And
okay,
this is basically how you see him. He is fully clothed, laying in the tub. The water is has filled up past the overfill drain. You can tell that there's the smell of the blood. It's splashed onto the floor, and where it's done that, it's dried out. It's had time. This doesn't look like this happened hours ago. As he lays in the tub, there is he's completely still. His eyes are open, but his face is stuck in a rictus of pain. And there's an odd bump on kind of the front of his forehead.
Odd bump like somebody popped him, or odd bump like some kind of protrusion or something?
Yeah, you look at it, and it looks like either he had the most gnarly wart, like a wart but the size of a silver dollar, or it's some kind of a wound. But it really does look more like a very, very large wart on his forehead. But it matches his skin color. It just looks like some kind of a really ugly growth.
Definitely take note of that. I'm wearing my tactical vest. I've got my windbreaker. If there is a way to, laptops of that era are not super thin. If there's a way to tuck that laptop, walk out of it, but have it tucked inside my vest, I'm going to do it. If there's no way to really pull that off without it being obvious, I'm just going to leave it in there.
Sure, yeah. You turn back to the desk. You actually do have to unplug the phone cable from the wall. The laptop was plugged in the place of the motel's phone, and you close the screen on the laptop, and when the latch kind of clicks shut, you also hear kind of a wet plop from behind you in the bathroom again, and there are ripples in the surface of the bloody water.
Okay. Do I have sightline into the bathroom? I mean, I'm going to hear what you just described.
Yeah.
Can I see it from where I'm standing?
Yeah, you turn back around. You can see the faint trace of movement just from the ripples of in the water. It looks like something dropped into the water. Why don't you roll alertness for me? Oh, no way. That is for everyone who can't see it, that is a 1 under 70. That is a critical success. No matter what you're rolling, no matter the skill you're using, that is a success. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to rewind, and before you hear the plop of of something in the water, you turned around because you noticed some more movement in the corner of your eye, and you actually see just a blur of movement, and whatever made that wet plop, it was close to Adam's head, and you look around for. You check the ceiling. Is the roof leaking there or something like that? You look around really quickly, and then you realize that gnarly bump on his head is gone. His forehead is perfectly smooth. No perfectly normal for a man his age. No wound, no big wart or anything.
Hey, so we have creepy crawlies.
Great.
I can't wait to examine it.
Wart-shaped creepy crawlies.
Duly noted. Or just
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that?
Well, I instinctively I raise up the shotgun, and take a couple of steps closer and pause, and then my thinking brain is like, what the fuck are you doing? And I take those steps back towards the door, and I basically walk backwards out of the door, with the shotgun held, because somebody might see me coming out of there. I'm going to hold it a little looser than I might. I'm putting on a little bit of a show here, so I'm gonna back out more casually than I would ordinarily do. Casual-ish, but still paying attention. Back out casually, and if I can back out of the door and close the door with my back towards the parking lot, if I'm able to pull that off, let me know.
Yeah. Something's up in that room. You decide to go ahead and get what evidence you have at hand and back out. You sort of hold the shotgun along the side of your body so that it's not a big, outline of armed person, against the white walls. And you look back at the parking lot, where June, the daytime attendant at the front office, is still watching, and she just kind of like waves up at you and says, "Is everything okay in there?"
I look back and kind of clock her location, and then I look towards the door, and in the movie of this, the camera's on my face, and I'm just like, it is the X-Files version of Danny Glover, I'm getting too old for this shit, look on his face. And he's just like, oh. And then he just, like, almost like an actor prepping for a scene, he kind of rubs his temples, moves a couple of face muscles, and then he turns around, and I'm looking to look like casual, vaguely annoyed, a little exasperated, holding the gun down, no tightness. And I'm gonna walk up to June and just say, well, the thing with this line of work, there are exciting moments, and in between those rare exciting moments is a whole lot of nothing and a whole lot of boring and a whole lot of paperwork. There's nothing going on in there, but I guess might as well, cover both rooms. So you up for take 2 from 218?
She
Dude, that's so smooth.
Yeah, she watches you and seems a little bit disappointed, actually, and you catch her eyes glancing at the gun. And like I said last time, this is the coolest thing she's ever been involved in. And she is absolutely, between her own proclivities and your 80% in persuade, which is worth you not even having to roll for this. You suggest to her, going and checking out 218, and she immediately nods. She says, "Absolutely, anything you can, anything I can do to help you, I'd be very helpful. Be very happy to." And she takes you back toward the front office to retrieve that
Max
other
is
key.
in my vicinity. Where is Max right now?
Max is probably in the room that you rented. So along the way, you know, that 202 and 218 are kind of at opposite ends of the second floor. Along the way, you can very easily pull your own key, pull the door open. Max looks up as you open the door.
I need excuse you in there. I'll just say, you know, I'll say to Gene, I'll just kind of gesture towards the shotgun and just say, like, you know, I don't want to scare anybody. Seems actually kind of quiet here. I'm just gonna put this back in my room. Give me just a second. I'm gonna go in the room. I'm gonna ditch the 870. I'm gonna put an extra round. I'm gonna chamber around and manually load one more into my SIG 228 though. And I'm gonna say to Charlie, bad news next door. Do not go in there, but act like it's normal. Gonna need you to unlock the secrets of this bad boy, and I'll just hand him the laptop. I'll turn around and walk out.
Okay. Yeah, and as you walk out, you can hear him already talking to himself, like, you know, going over the... He opens it up, he's like, ooh, nice. Windows and everything. But yeah, you shut the door to your room where Max is getting started on that.
Catch you watching porn on Netscape, goddammit.
It's so superior to AOL.
All right, so I mean, I should have the shotgun, but the calculus, flawed as it may be, is nothing to see here is a better outcome than, you know, the town abuzz with gossip, even if it comes
like
at
the
some
whole
personal
purpose we're
peril.
here, like, make sure that nobody knows anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I am at this point going to make sure, and I come out of the room, and if I didn't already have it, you know, the attachment. This is going to be a, you know, LED flashlight fixed to the pistol. I need both hands on the pistol. I need a really good flashlight on that pistol when I go into 218.
Okay. So you ready
Same
yourself?
drill too. Like, please unlock the door. Step aside. You know, this is protocol.
Yeah, absolutely. And at that point, we'll cut away for a moment and let's check in with Eli and with Blake. I don't remember exactly what the two of you were last up to. I think
we were talking to the girlfriend because I have in my notes like questions that I was thinking about asking her. Or I guess maybe we were like looking.
Yeah. The last thing we did was we talked to her mom, who was out of it, like clearly on some kind of painkillers. The house is full of dust. Nothing's been touched or cleaned in a while. Everything in the refrigerator was old and spoiled. And the husband hasn't been home in a couple of days. She thought it was last night when he came in for dinner but left again. But we're not sure that's true. When we went into Jane's room, which is the daughter, we saw a lot of the typical teenage stuff, posters, Polaroids of her friends from school. It was tidy. Colleges for painting. I think she wanted to go to school for art, but we discovered stuff's all pretty amateur. Not that you can't go to school and be better, but it's what we noted. But there was no signs of drugs in the room or in the bathroom of anything. That's kind of what we were looking for, is to see if they were... Whenever she's on, it's not here.
Mm-hmm.
We found out that Jane's friends were Reagan, who is out of town, and Jade. I just have a note here that this is a drama-filled friend. Jane has been home for a couple days. She could be at the Brooks place or the reservoir. So those are the two places we can check. And I think that's where we left off. Is we got.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, I have a note that there's lots of dog hair. Is there a dog in here?
Yeah, I think I remember saying they have a golden retriever.
Very elderly one. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. The elderly dog. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know
Buckley?
Buckley.
That's a good one. Buckley.
Wait, Jade is the name of the girlfriend?
Jane is the girlfriend.
Okay.
Jade is her friend. So there's a Jane with an N and a Jade with a D.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, so that should be not confusing. So we want to try and find Jane with an N. We could check the reservoir first. That seems the creepiest.
Sounds good to me.
Who are the Brooks? Do we know? Like, that's a last name, clearly. Is that Jade with a D's parents?
That is, Jade Brooks is one of her friends.
Okay, and can we get her address before we head out of here?
Yeah, absolutely. Mrs. Allen happily, writes it down on a little piece of stationery she keeps on the fridge for grocery shopping lists, and rips it off, hands it to you, and just says, "Well, I wish you the best in your investigation. Please come by again if you need anything else from me, even if it's just a home-cooked meal."
I look towards the expired fridge. We'll look into that. And if you hear from Jane before we get a chance to talk to her, will you give us a call up at the motel?
Well, of course. I'm sure she'll be back tonight, or maybe tomorrow.
No, you have a good night now, ma'am.
Yeah. So from there, you head back out. The two of you were driving around together at this point, right?
Yeah, I think we've got the car. I don't remember where we rented. Some old jalopy. Or no, wait. Or do we have? Or are we driving Max's car, or Charlie's character's car?
Yeah. You have the FBI's van. I think Kurt had a rental car, and then Max also brought his personal car, which is
okay.
I think a Nissan van.
Okay, so I think we got the FBI van.
Okay.
It doesn't look like an FBI van, right? Just the van.
No, right. Yeah, it's a blank white utility van, no back windows.
What could go wrong? Driving around looking for kids with a white van.
Right? Standard creep van.
Standard creep van. FBI. Foreign body investigation. Alright. So as we step outside, close the door. It's really, I'm gonna guess that you noticed that none of that was... Something's wrong in there.
Yeah, seems bad.
Yeah, everything in that refrigerator has been expired for like a week, at least. Dust everywhere. I think she's feeding the dog, but what she's feeding the dog, I have no idea.
Hey, would I be able to tell, based on my, scientific psychiatry intelligence? Probably what drugs I would think the mom was on?
Yeah. We've got an actual skill for that.
It's called pharmacy.
Yeah, it's called pharmacy.
And I have it.
Yeah, tell me your percentages in those.
I have 40%.
Okay.
I have 30.
Okay. Both of you could go ahead and roll for that, and we'll see if either of you.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea.
Crit.
So as you as you talked to her, and as you were trying to figure out what is up with this woman, you just keep thinking, her behavior seems barbiturate-like, but there are some side effects that famously come along with barbiturates that she was not showing. And on that critical, I'm going to say that Eli is actually quite aware that the mix of just kind of a dopey, unconcerned outlook, mixed with apparently no other physiological problems, no, shaking or overly relaxed muscles or anything like that. None of it matches any drug that you know.
All right. Well, I gotta tell you, I mean, I'm no expert. I'm not a pharmacist. I'm not a doctor, but I've administered a lot of drugs. I've seen a lot of people, both on base and off base, high on everything, and nothing matches that. Nothing. I don't know what she was on, but I don't know the base of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought maybe she just, swung too many Xanaxes, or just, smoked enough weed to be as high as a goddamn mountain, but ain't none of that. Plus, we just smelled it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing makes you that. Well, there are some things that, like an opioid, will make you not give a crap about everything around, but it was tidy, and she wasn't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what it was, but
was it strange enough to you that we should try and remember this, or do you think that maybe that's unrelated to our business here?
That she's high on some unknown substance?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's very worth remembering. Because if you think about it, she doesn't know where her daughter is, who's clearly pertinent. She's been missing for a couple days now. She doesn't know where her husband went. I think we gotta find him. Something's going on in this town. I will not discount. I'm not gonna discount anything.
Okay, let's go see if we can find Jade.
Yeah, we want to go to Jade Brooks' house, or we want to go check the reservoir?
Let's go check the reservoir first.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
It's mid-morning.
Mid-morning. Yeah, let's check out the reservoir while it's daylight. Because if I gotta fight another zombie, man, I want to be in the daylight.
Deal.
Chasing that thing through the woods at night, I don't know about you, but I still got nightmares about that.
Yeah, so it's a short drive across town to the north. You hop on the highway for like a quarter mile and then back off the other side along a dirt road, and you come to the edge of a reservoir that's looking pretty full at the moment. There are a few houses toward the other end that ended up with like Lakeview property. But on the side that's closer to town, the place that you can tell, there's a parking lot, there's a couple of other cars, people, out walking their dogs, or there's a couple of people fishing in the reservoir. And this parking lot definitely seems like a local place, a place for teenagers to go and park, or this is the closest bit of nature that's easily accessible without going cross country. And as you step out, it's a rather peaceful area. The rain of last night is starting to clear off a little bit. Clouds are starting to scatter, but it's not too bright. It's not getting too hot. An older man fishing, sitting in an ancient aluminum lawn chair, kind of waves at you as you step out, and he's just like, "Morning."
Morning, sir. How are you doing this fine morning?
Oh, well,
6 more times today.
Could be better if anything was fucking biting. Otherwise,
well,
it's a beautiful day. I won't get mad about it.
Is there anybody else around, or is it just him for now?
There's just him. Probably 100 yards off. You can see a couple who are walking their dog, maybe back toward your direction.
Okay. I was gonna walk towards this guy.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name, sir?
He reaches out a hand, and let me see.
Full of tentacles.
Not full of tentacles.
Thank you.
Also, slightly surprising though, he reaches out a hand and he says, "Merle Barn." And you can't help but think Merle's
Merle?
Shut-Eye. Merle's Country Corner.
You wouldn't happen
Does
to
he
be
look wealthy?
the same Merle that's running all the shops and motels in town, are you? I'll shake his hand.
Well, that's right. I own a couple businesses, and I like to invest in the economy of my hometown.
Well, I gotta say, we're staying up at your hotel just now. It's a nice place. Very nice.
Well,
place.
I thank you, and please do let me know if you need any help out there. I'm sort of semi-retired these days, and I'm spending a lot of time up here at the reservoir.
A lot of time up here. So.
If I spent too much time around the Shut-Eye, I'd be pestered all day by them UFO enthusiasts. Begging your pardon if that's why you're here.
Not actually. We're actually looking to find do we know Jane's last name? I don't think we've.
Allen.
Jane Allen. We're actually trying to find Jane Allen. Have you seen her? I know that she comes up here sometimes.
Jane Allen. Now she'll be the daughter of one of our aldermen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I wouldn't say I know her well personally. I don't have much time for teenage girls these days.
I'm just gonna perk a brow, look over to Blake about that last statement. Alright. That's, she hasn't been home in a couple days. I was hoping that we might be able to, I know she comes out here. If you happen to, get sight of her while you're out here, would you, let us know at the Shut-Eye? Just send a word up. My name's Jeb. What name are you, name is Blake using right now?
Jennifer.
I'm Jed. This is Jennifer. We're with the FBI.
FBI. Jeb, Jennifer.
That's right.
I hadn't Oh, well, now you'll be here about that Spivey boy, then. I heard from our local sheriff that some federal backup was coming in about that. Something about how he fled across state lines. Now, if you are looking for my for my take on all of this, I will tell you right now, this town does not have any kind of a drug problem. So if that's what's going around, you just you best be looking for some other explanation, because I've been all up and down all of these woods. I have walked every square inch of this county. I never seen no weed bushes or nothing like that.
Well, that's very helpful. No, we haven't suspected any drug problem necessarily. No, it's nothing like that. But yeah, we are, I mean, guilty as charged. We are here about the Spivey boy, but...
Not drugs, then. I mean, I don't want to pry, but I am curious. What is your current what's the word? Hypothesis?
Well, we're just investigators. We're just trying to find facts right now. We don't even have enough to come up with a hypothesis at the moment. Right now, we're just trying to we just got in last night, so we're just trying to find his friends. Really, Jane is his girlfriend, so we're trying to have a few words with her. And we can't find him. Well,
please, I want to show the fine agents of the FBI all hospitality that this town has to show, which is a great deal. So now that I know your names, I'm going to tell you this: you are not paying for your stay at my motel. And if you need any kind of supplies or anything else from the country bunker, you just let them know that you saw Merle fishing up at the reservoir. They'll know that's how you met me. I'm up here most days, and well, they should at least give you a helping hand here and there.
Well, greatly appreciate that, Mr. Bob.
Yeah, thank you so much. That is very lovely.
Since you're up here all the time, where do you think the teenagers would mostly go around here? Can you point us in a direction?
Well, and he kind of points a thumb over his shoulder. He's like, this parking lot right here at night, that's was the first time I made out with my wife in this parking lot.
Oh, that's so cute.
Or there's a few young men who hang out down at the country bunker. They'll sit outside and play their music and whatever. Boys will be boys, and I don't know very much about where the girls would spend their time. I think, honestly, that's not a part of the life of this town that I have much experience with, not having had children myself. But you could maybe ask around down at the high school. You could track down some of Jane's friends, I suppose. If you've already been to talk to Nancy Allen, I'm surprised she doesn't know, because she and Jane have always been close.
We just saw her, actually. We just came from her place.
Oh, well, I hope you gave Buckley a good scratch for me.
Oh, yeah. It's a good dog. Well, one thing I'd like to ask is, can you tell us who Jane's friends are? Do you happen to know that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I have no idea. Those high school cliques, they form and they break so fast. I don't think I could keep track of it even when I was a high school boy and interested in all that.
What can you tell us about, can you tell us anything you know about Nancy Allen? What do you know about,
she's one of a relatively small number of people who married and moved into the town and has really made herself a home here. She is on and off chair of the PTA. She is involved in charity events and church events all the time. And of course, you know that her husband is in the Council of Aldermen, so they're a very involved and civic-minded family.
Yeah, I did get that. So you have a pretty high opinion of Miss Allen, then?
Oh, of course. She's among this town's best.
What about her husband? Can you tell me about him?
Well, I have gotten into trouble with John Allen on and off since we were about this tall. Before we could talk, we was running these woods together. We were when our dates left us at junior prom, we hung out together in the corner and set off firecrackers on the 4th of July. He's one of my best friends my entire life.
All right. Well, sounds like a pretty upstanding family then. I'm sure Jane's just the same.
Well, we here in Groversville pride ourselves in being the sort of wholesome and welcoming southern town that you only ever hear about and you can never quite find. John Allen, Nancy, they're a big part of that. Now, Jane, I had heard Nancy complaining about Jane going out with the Spivey boy. He's from less of a wealthy family, but that's not to say that the Spiveys are doing drugs or, living in a trailer or anything seedy or anything like that. But that's the closest thing I'm aware of to Jane's social goings-on.
Yeah, before this business across state lines, you have any trouble with Spivey? His family, anything like that?
Oh no, Billy Ray, he hangs out with the others out in front of the country bunker. They listen to all of this newfangled metal music that I just can't understand. But honestly, better they do it there, where I can see them, where the sheriffs can see them, than they head off into the woods and get into real trouble. So I never said anything about it. We try to be welcoming to them, even if they don't, even if they're in a part of their life where they can't really accept the simple and wholesome life that we try to offer them. All of them kids down there, they just talk about when they can get out, join the army, or go to college somewhere outside of town. Don't think the latter was in the cards for Billy Ray. Good kid, but never heard anything about him being a scholar.
Kids get out of this town?
Oh, sure. Some just need a bigger life. Busy streets, big money, whether they can get their hands on it themselves or not. You know how kids are. Grass is always greener. Lots of them leave here. Lots of them come back, too.
Inwardly, Eli is having... This is like a big reckoning. Like, this is very familiar to him, right? He came from an Amish community where kids are encouraged to leave, to experience the other side, and most come back, almost out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's very much like, I know exactly what this is like. And afterwards, he's like, all right, well, Mr. Bond, we're not gonna. You have any questions, Miss Jennifer?
I don't think so. Perhaps there would be some sort of like rangers around here. I wonder if Merle, you could point us in the direction of the main office, if there is one.
Oh, well, this ain't any kind of parkland. This is a municipal reservoir.
Okay.
The city council, the aldermen oversee all of this. And I will happily tell you that this reservoir, keeping it clean and good for the recreation of everyone in Groversville. It's been a project of mine my entire life. So, if there's anything like a ranger around here, it's me.
The sheriff, I'd imagine.
Well, of course, and the deputies, but, well, it's a big county, and Groversville City itself might be a very, very nice and wholesome place, but not all of the county is, so I'd say that the sheriff and his deputies only spend maybe a quarter of their time actually here in town.
All right.
To be honest, we've never needed anything like a ranger. We don't have any bobcats or bears or anything like that.
Wild animals coming in from the mountains and such, getting too close.
No, it's a simple, easy place to live, honestly.
Sounds very idyllic. It's been very quiet. We'll say
that
it's...
it is. At least when the UFO nuts ain't knocking down our doors.
I was curious about that. What's bringing them out here? What event? I mean, I understand like Roswell and all them things. I mean, that's a big published thing. But why out here? What's bringing them?
It's all bullshit. I will believe to my dying day that it's all bullshit. But, you know, one person starts a rumor. Maybe somebody came out here and sat in this very spot, and I don't know, maybe they popped some LSD or something back in the 60s, and they saw some lights in the sky, and they passed that on to somebody who heard UFO, and they came out here, and they didn't want to be left out, so they said they saw something. And before too long, the rumor's grown, and people are actually seeing things. Supposedly, anyway. And I've even heard that some of our local farmers have been cutting circles into their crops, trying to get people to come by and pay attention to them. That's unfortunately the main blight on the face of our beautiful city here.
Well, that does sound like a bit like a pain.
It is. I'm happy to take their money, and as long as they obey the law, we'll show them the same kindness and hospitality we'll show you or anyone else who wants to come visit. But it does get a little bit tiresome to answer the question. No, I've never seen a cow get probed or anything like that.
Well, I'm glad you've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, same. Alright. Well, we won't take any more of your time then. Thanks so much for your hospitality and information. This will be greatly helpful.
You're quite welcome. And he gives his fishing rod another jerk, and he says, "Bite, damn you!"
Oh, I like him.
I know. Well, as we move away, maybe take a little walk down the path towards those couple that was coming up this way.
Yeah.
Just lean over towards Jennifer about, you know, I hate to say it, the more and more I'm hearing about this place, it reminds me of a cult.
Oh. Do I already know Nicole?
What's that?
A cult.
No,
A cult.
a cult. You know what? It could just be that these people really love the place that they live. Would I have any like vibes, like culty vibes, as a professional psychotherapist?
You would certainly know what to look for. You would be looking for, avenues of control, and the like. This is just a perfect town. We love each other and take care of each other. That really is very often on the face of big cults and things like that.
Okay, so I'll go ahead. I just Googled it. But Jennifer would definitely know this. A cult is a group characterized by charismatic leadership. Check. Extreme devotion to a leader.
I mean, it's not very particular. Eli's just thinking. I mean, the thing that made me think less about it was when people willingly leave. Most times with a cult, they don't want them to leave so much, but I don't know. And he's not terribly involved. There's no harem, but so I did have that thought initially. I'm like, man, reminds me a little bit of a cult. Actually, it reminds me a lot more of secular communities than anything else.
Okay, let's keep a lookout for that. For those kinds of vibes from other people.
Should we talk to this couple up here, see if they happen to know Jane?
Yeah, we could go say hi.
Yep.
Pick up a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing is that if we don't want to take up too much time, just doing lots of RP talking.
Totally.
Anyone that we see, we're just going to be like, hey, do you know Jane Allen? Do you know where we can find her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for this couple who are just, walking their dog, I'll just zoom right through it because there's not much to be seen there. They are driving through Groversville on their way west.
Bummer.
They're doing a road trip. They're gonna hit Nashville. They're gonna keep heading west. They're apparently eventually gonna do a national parks tour. They're from I'm gonna say they're from South Carolina, and on their way to see the Southwest Moab and Zion and stuff like that. So they know nothing about what's going on. They just think it's a nice little town with a pretty reservoir, and they say, the sheets at Merle's Shut-Eye were so soft. They're gonna keep stopping and staying here next time they do this road trip.
That sounds perfectly lovely.
If we spend some time walking around, like maybe 20 minutes, do we find anybody else, or is it pretty quiet right now?
Other than them, who, they get their dog into their car, and drive off. And other than that, it's just Merle who slowly starts to pack up his fishing things as it's getting toward noon and it's starting to get a little.
Did he ever
warmer.
catch anything?
He never did catch anything.
That sucks.
And he keeps swearing under his breath over it. But yeah, after a little walk around, you're looking in the water. You're not seeing any signs of water quality issues. It looks like the water in any open reservoir anywhere in America. There's tons and tons of overlapping tire tracks in the dirt parking lot. You think this is not a good place to find any kind of evidence. It just gets trampled every day. But
attacked by zombies.
As you sit back down in your car or in the van, and maybe you're still talking about cults and kind of getting through your thoughts on all of that, we will cut back to Agent Jasmine. Kurt Becker, you get your SIG out. you've
I'm
got.
gonna. Well, I'd like to on what I'd like to do is after we leave, get that squared away on the way to 218. I'm just gonna sort of exasperate it. Like, you know what? Mac, I'll just look at Gene. Max is a good kid, but he's still pissed off at me about something. And if I go in there against protocol without the shotgun, if he reports me, I'm gonna have paperwork and headaches. I better do this by the book. My radio's been on the fritz a little bit though. Let me. Could I use your office phone very quickly? Could we hit your office phone and then I'm gonna go back to the room. Anyway, whichever order. Office phone, go to the room. I'm going to the room, getting the shotgun, because Kurt's thinking, like, I'm a pretty good shot, but hitting something that small in the dark with the pistol, not easy. I feel better about hitting something that small, especially if it gets squirrely on me. I'd rather have a shotgun for that, so fuck it.
Yeah.
I had my excuse. To go in and dump the laptop. It's like, all right, I don't want Charlie to rat me, or Max, or whatever his fake name is, John, to rat me out. Better get it, and I'd like to use your phone real quick, if I could. I'm having some issues with my radio, about the reception here.
Yeah. You head down to the office to use their phone. When you stop by in your room again, Max kind of looks up from the laptop that he's just starting to try and crack the password. But he looks up at you and he sees you grabbing the shotgun again after like a minute of being outside. He's like, "You want any backup?"
I look at him. I'm good, but then I kind of gesture the shotgun. It's like, you really don't want to go in next door. And then I'll walk out.
Yeah, and he just kind of like stares and nods slowly. Like, yep, sounds like I really do not want to go over there.
So I'm going to do kind of a 2-for-1. I assume that there's some kind of phone number I can call to get to either reach or get patched through to my colleagues who are chatting with the general public, right?
Right. Yeah.
So pick up the phone, and I'm doing this in front of June. And again, I'm being casual, nonchalant, but I'm doing this in part to reach out to them, but also to convey to June, like, there's a whole lot of nothing going on here. Pick up the phone and whatever I have to hit or ask, a dispatcher to patch me through. Ring-a-ding-ding.
Yeah, you're trying to get through to
Either
to Eli or Blake.
Yeah, either one of them.
Okay, yeah.
Do
and
we have a cell phone?
I'm sure at least.
I would assume you have like a Motorola something that can be patched through.
Oh, that's right, in the van, probably. Yeah, the bag phone.
Yep. Yeah. So the,
I mean, I'm not expecting it to be instantaneous. Like I pull out a cell phone from my pocket, bang, they're there. I imagine that there's some, 90s weight and jerry rigging and duct tape and chicken wire and manual plugging and connecting of things. But
yeah, the phone in the FBI van rings, or I should say it's like a phone/radio. It squawks as Kurt comes over, and this is just as you were turning on the van to drive away from the reservoir. So what are you telling him?
First,
brief message. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, which one of us is driving, by the way? Kayla, is it you or me?
I'll drive.
Okay, so I guess I'll pick up the phone then. You can't talk and drive. There's no hands-free chat back then.
Yep.
Like, You can go for Jeb.
Okay.
That's what he says when he picks up the phone.
Hey, Jay over here at the hotel. I'm over here with June. I've been having some trouble with my radio. I'm using the hotel phone here in the main office, and I'm over here with June. She's been real helpful. Just want to give you a quick heads up. So yeah, I think we're gonna probably have to have a lot of paperwork to do back at the motel. I already went into one room, about to go in the other. I would say it's about as exciting. You remember that time we had some time to kill and we visited our coworkers' parents, had pizza with them out in Colorado? It's about as exciting as that. So we'll have a lot of paperwork to do. So if you guys can hurry back, and because I don't want us to be working on it all day. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
gotta go.
I'm just gonna snap my fingers to get Jennifer's attention. Yeah, we'll be right there.
And I will leave it to you to interpret however you wanted. As interesting as it was as that time we visited our coworkers' parents in Colorado.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what that would have. Is that referring to
zombies in the woods?
The zombies. You're like, all right, is that the end of the conversation, you think?
Yeah, well, that's the end of my part of it. You're welcome to have an imaginary conversation back with me if you want.
No, he's just going to be like, all right, yeah, we're right there. And then he hangs up, he looks over at Jennifer and be like, oh, so apparently the zombies are back at the hotel.
Oh!
Yeah, I think he's going to need some backup, so I guess we'll save the Brooks for later, assuming this doesn't just blow wide open.
All right.
So, back to the hotel.
Well, I'm not in charge. You can go. I mean, if you're doing stuff you got to do, go for it. But I'm just giving you the heads up now. There's strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
See, when you say as exciting as zombies in the woods, we're like, I think we better get back.
Okay.
Agree.
Yeah, and it's like a 3-minute drive. So, Kurt, you've just barely hung up the phone and started back out up the stairs toward 218 when you see the white van come down the road, turn right into the shut-eye parking lot, and Eli and Blake step out. At this point, when Eli and Blake are there, June kind of like comes back to herself, and she kind of excuses herself. She's like, you know what, I actually maybe should be at the front desk sometimes. You let me know if you need any more help, but I'm gonna let you do what you need to do, and you just bring that key back when you're done with it.
Okay. Sounds good. Really appreciate the help. Does she seem squirrely, or does she seem bored, or does she feel like if she wanders away from her post at work too long, she'll get in trouble? What's her demeanor?
No, your read is that she feels awkward. You get a sense that that June here, you said you were here doing some real true crime stuff, and you needed her help, just you and her, handsome, urbane FBI agent, come to the small town, and he needs the small town woman's help. And then your colleagues show up, and she gets a little self-conscious and excuses herself over it. You think that maybe she feels more intimidated with two other agents, one of which has a very military look. The other is a very well put together, professional looking young woman. So yeah, you just get a sense this is like social awkwardness, intimidation.
That is very
Plus, it's Hot Jen, so she's gonna be how can she compete with
intimidated.
that?
Like her
Yeah,
hair
I mean, how could
billows
you,
slowly, even when there's no wind. It's just kind of,
But yeah, the two of you get out of your van to see Mr. Jasmine up on the second floor, standing not too far from the last door on the end, 218. And both of you are aware enough to see, he's definitely carrying his shotgun. He's definitely got his SIG on him. He's ready for trouble.
All right. Are we reasonably alone here that we can talk?
Yeah, the middle of the day, this place really quiets down. There's none of the truckers coming through, looking for a place to sleep a night. The only cars in the lot are yours and Scott Allen's. Not Allen. Anyway, Mr. Dead Guy's
Scott
van.
Adams?
Scott Adams' van.
So you, you mentioned a little bit of excitement going on.
Yeah. So we've got a situation in 208 that we're gonna 202 that we're gonna need to deal with right not this second though. Blacked out windows, the deceased in a very bad way, Mr. Adams in the bathtub, some sort of weird giant wart thing on his forehead that apparently can sprout legs and splash around a little bit.
That sounds like something we should investigate.
Yeah, so
it's really important. So just do me one favor and just, no matter what you're thinking, just look really bored and maybe vaguely annoyed. Be as casual as you can, because we're the most interesting thing to happen in this town all month.
Yeah.
Assume we're being watched. So, some shrugging, some annoying, some eye rolling, whatever.
You got it.
You got it.
So I have not been into 218 yet. I do have the keys to Mr. Adams, or the former Mr. Adams' room, in my pocket. I've got his wallet. Max is cracking open the laptop in there right now. He did not have the key to 218, so maybe it's in 218. I don't know what's in 218, but based on what's inside 202 that I saw, I would appreciate, Jen, if you could do a little crowd control and keep people a good distance away. I don't know, whatever was happening in that room, they had that room blacked out for a reason, so this time, Yoder, I want to go in with you. I want you to carry the shotgun. Anything skitters, blast it. Or almost blast it. Anything skitters near me, definitely blast it.
You got birdshot in that or slug?
Do I look like the birdshot type to you?
No.
I
mean, you said, if it comes near me, I'm just, covering my bases here. I've seen many a private think it's fine to auto spray near any kind of other person, or throw a grenade within 5 feet of anyone. So, just wanted to ask. I'm
underrating on the hopefully not mistaken assumption that if you were really dumb, they'd have made you an 11 Bravo. But since they didn't, I assume you have a little bit of sense.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, I mean, don't get too trigger happy. But
I won't.
Understand. I don't know how that. I don't know if there's more of those, or there's that, or what's going on. But something weird that skitters is in 202, and we're gonna have to deal with it, or trap it, or burn it, or I don't know what. I don't know what we're gonna deal with in 218. I'm gonna go in front. Once you backing me up with the shotgun, Jen, did you just run some crowd control, keep people away, but be ready to run in? You know, what kind of shoes are you? What kind of shoes is Blake wearing right now?
New Balance.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay.
No, that's probably not it. It's gonna be Birkenstocks.
Okay, well, as long as we're not relying on you clickety-clacking to rescue.
I mean, to be fair, we have a long history of Scully running and climbing chain link fences in here, so...
Yep.
Actually.
As we're heading
so,
up...
Yeah,
I mean, the reason I don't...
While you're out in the parking lot, kind of conferring, I would like an awareness roll from all of you.
Sure, we can do the rolls. Alertness?
Alertness, yeah.
Man, not one of my... Oh, actually, it is a decent skill. I'm 50-50 on it, really.
Okay. So, so two of you are sort of like... You're sort of talking in a triangle, and Agent Jennifer has her back to the motel, so she doesn't see, but the other two of you do. Your eye catches movement up at 218, and you just kind of look over just as you realize that the curtain in front of the front window is just swinging back into place to cover the rest of the window. Looks very much like somebody was peeking out, watching you, and when you looked over, they scurried away from the window.
Were you 1000% certain that our UFO buff is not up and walking around like our friend in Colorado?
I'm certain he's not. I don't know what kind of friends he made in town, though. I'm guessing you just saw what I just saw.
I just saw. Let's I think we should expedite this expedite 218.
Okay, slight change of plans. Jennifer, if you could come close with us. Anything comes out of that door that ain't us, tackle it or shoot it. Dealer's choice.
I'll do my best. I don't have a gun. But I am pretty, athletic.
I also, if I have a shotgun, you can have my handgun.
I'll take the handgun.
It's just a standard issue Beretta 9, so should be fine.
That means a lot to me as a player.
It's a standard issue 9mm handgun. It's not gonna, shouldn't be too difficult.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So the two of you head up the stairs toward room 202. Sorry, 218. As you come close, you do have the motel's master key. Do you just unlock the door? Do you knock? Do you announce yourself in any way?
You're taking lead on this, so you do what you like. I'm just backing you up.
I'm waiting outside.
I'm going to stand on the left side of the door. I'm going to knock on the door 3 times. As I'm knocking, I'm going to try to use the knocking sound to mask the sound of the key going in the door and turning. Bang, bang, bang. FBI, I have a warrant. I'm walking inside. And as I say that, I have the key turned and the knob turned. I'm going to moderately, I'm not going to melodramatic, but I'm going to kick that left bottom corner of the door open with my right shoe so that when it swings in, I'm actually still to the left of the doorway. So if anybody starts blasting You're just gonna hit some Honda Civic out in the parking lot instead of me.
Yeah. So you knock as you insert the key. You announce yourself. You turn the key, and you start pushing the door open. And from inside the room, you just hear, "No, wait!" As you push the door open, and you see that there is a young woman, maybe 18, 19, and she is so shocked by you pounding on the door, and then the door opening on its own. She was apparently watching the door, but she tries to back away from the door, kind of stumbles into the corner of the bed, and almost trips. And as she does so, she lets off a scream of terror. She says, "Please don't hurt me!"
Are you Jane Allen?
I'm lowering weapons, and I just kind of gesture to. I don't know if you've lowered yours or not. I'm lowering
Mine's
mine.
at more of a low ready at the moment, so it's not up or anything.
I'm closing the door immediately, and I'm doing kind of a hands like up, like, "Hey, it's okay," but I definitely have my finger on the trigger.
Yeah, I'm just gonna just like very matter of fact, Jane Allen.
She looks at you, still terrified, as you show her that you're putting your weapons away, and she says, "Yeah, yeah," and she seems like she is Jane Allen, and is just shocked and confused, and she looks like she's crying now. She looks like she's been crying for a while. The other thing that you notice is that she is very, very pregnant.
Oh!
Hey,
oh,
you know that?
No.
You guys ever watch Quantum Leap?
Oh yeah, fantastic
I
show.
don't think so.
Every time he ends the show with looking in a mirror and goes, "Oh boy." That's like the little thought I had.
Yep.
I'm just gonna open the door real quick and go. Oh, that's right. You're outside, aren't you? Blake's outside.
Yeah, Blake's outside.
Damn it.
All
right. Well, I'm gonna safety the weapon now.
And she finally.
You mean to alarm you? Yeah.
Yeah, she finally gets some words out. She says, "Who are you?"
That's when I stand. Yeah, and I just do a quick 180 and then a 180 back, so she sees the FBI, windbreaker that I made a point of putting on when I went into the first room.
I could show her the ID that they gave us.
There's that too.
Since I don't have that windbreaker.
Yeah, and she just says, "Oh my God, FBI, what? Why? I didn't do anything."
Well, now that's interesting. Why is...
I have to say, I believe you. I just need to check the room to make sure it's safe for all of us. And then at that point, I'll let Yoder, do whatever talking he wants to do, but I'm going to sweep the room at that point. I'm looking for anything.
Yeah. So as you move through the room, you note that this one is notably less tidy. It looks like housekeeping hasn't been here for a while. There are... the trash can is full to overflowing with basically snacks from the convenience store across the street, or from the vending machines downstairs. a couple of takeout containers. There is just a bit of a smell of like... Jane absolutely looks like she has been wearing the same clothes for a number of days, hasn't had a chance to wash them. The floor of the room is cluttered with like Rubbermaid tubs of camera equipment, lighting equipment, lighting rigs, and extra film and batteries and adapters, stuff that you would expect to belong to a journalist. In fact, exactly the kind of stuff that you would have expected, given that Scott Adams said that he had rented this room for storage. And it seems like he was telling the truth. It just happens that Jane Allen is here too. But you give the room a once over. It looks like somebody has been living in here for a few days without housekeeping ever coming to do anything about it. But certainly not any kind of squalor. Jane has just kind of lowered herself into the chair in the corner of the room. And it looks like she's been spending some time there. She kind of has to sit slouched down in the chair because she looks like she's at like 9 months. She is bursting.
Oh no.
Now, Miss Allen. Yeah, go ahead.
You said there are plastic tubs in there. I'm just gonna find the 2 biggest tubs in that room, toss the contents on the floor. Say I might need. I think I'm gonna need these, and then, because we got a critter to catch.
Oh yeah.
Max, what are you up to? You busy right now? But I want to walk out and just say, like, this is not like. It's going to be an interrogation if Kurt does it, and he knows that. So he's going to grab the tubs, and then he's going to basically go outside to swap places with Blake. We've got a very disoriented, very nervous, and very pregnant young lady in there that might benefit from your conversational skills.
Yeah, sure.
And then I'm gonna ditch the tubs back in my room, and then, just kind of, after they do that, I'm gonna basically kind of grab a Coke from the machine or whatever, and I'm just gonna be on sentry duty. I'm watching 202, I'm watching 218, and I'm watching the parking lot, and I'm watching the office. And I just hope everything stays calm. And the shotgun is not on me, but the SIG absolutely is.
Okay.
Alright, so while Blake's getting caught up and she'll be up here, I'll just be like, I'm just gonna set the weapon down so that it's, obviously not my hands, not a threat. But, Miss Allen, we're here on... we're here investigating what happened to your boyfriend, Billy Ray. You remember him?
Of course I remember Billy.
Is he looks down at her belly.
She kind of just gives a gulp, trying not to sob, but she nods. She says, I'm not even late. It
What
doesn't
she
make
said?
any sense.
Am I in there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you come in just as she says, I'm not even late, while she's very clearly like 8.5, 9 months pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so
start by stopping the whole conversation, because no one has addressed this poor woman's like surprise and like
Shock and fear.
Yeah, like emotional response to being barged in on like this. So I'm gonna like, okay, hold on a second, hold on. Let's everybody pause for a moment, and I will like maybe sit down next to her and like put my hand on her shoulder or her hand or her something and tell her like who we are and you're safe and we're not here to hurt you and you're not in trouble. We came in here because we were looking for some information and we just want to talk to you about some stuff. Can you tell me maybe what you're doing here?
She says, I'm waiting. Where's Scott? He said he said he would help me. And she looks down at her belly and she says, I can't believe what's happening to me.
What is happening to you? Can you tell me what's going on? I'd like to see if I can help.
She kind of curls in on herself and she says, I right before Billy went missing and drove out of town, we were together and I thought there was some risk, but then he was gone and when I started to show a week later, I was looking for somebody who could help me. My mom wouldn't pay attention. It's like she couldn't hear me. And I finally talked to Scott, Mr. Adams. He rented this room and he said whatever was happening to me was because of the aliens and that I couldn't go to the sheriffs. They would just try and cover it all up. But he stopped.
Whoa. Hold on. Are you trying to say that you have only been pregnant for about a week?
Maybe 2. I don't know. But it's growing so fast. I don't understand.
Have you been to see a doctor at all yet?
No. How could I go to a doctor that delivered me here in town? I was gonna leave and go somewhere else, but I couldn't show my face in town.
Oh, sweetie. I think we're gonna have to take you to a doctor. Maybe we could go to the next town over.
Who are you? What happened to Scott?
Does she not? She doesn't know that he like is dead and killed his dad.
She says, he said he was going to get food for me, and that was 2 days ago.
No, she said Scott, not Billy Ray.
That's right.
Oh shit. Okay, that's right. Scott, the UFO guy.
That's
Okay.
the UFO dude who's dead in 202. But I don't think we were briefed entirely on that yet.
You've been told that
He's dead in 202.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you did tell us. So.
And he's got some strange pets. That's
Oh yeah, that's right. That's on you, Jen. You can go ahead and tell her whatever you want.
Okay, honey. How about this? Me and you I'll drive you to a hospital to an urgent care in the next town over. I'll see what I can do about like keeping your name off of the paperwork, and I just want to go and make sure that you're okay, and we can have a chat on the way there in the car.
Could, Miss Jane, would it be alright if I took her, at least took her vitals here?
That's fine by me. Does that seem okay to you? Is it okay if he takes your vitals here to make sure that you're okay?
He just, he indicates to Jane, like, just so you know, I'm a paramedic. That's why I'm asking.
She nods and says, all right, I suppose.
Now, I'm no doctor, and especially no OBGYN, so, but I would like to at least see your blood pressure, make sure your heart's doing okay, alright?
Sure.
I'm gonna go back to my room, gonna get some medical stuff I have, okay? And I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Jen's gonna stay right here with you.
And I'll just be like, trying to be comforting, like, I'm so sorry this is happening to you right now. I know this is a really difficult time, and I know that things are really confusing, and blah 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 blah.
I'm gonna pick the shotgun up, exit the door, quickly find Jasmine, but she's only been pregnant for like 2 weeks. I'm gonna check her vitals. Something's...
I knew it as soon as you said pregnant. I was like, ugh, there's gonna be something weird about that.
Well, remember that he experienced time dilation. He was gone for like 3 weeks, but then right back.
Uh-huh.
So clearly, this is what she lost time somewhere.
I forgot. Do we have text messaging?
No.
No.
You could
very
send a
rudimentary beeper, maybe.
Yeah, you could send a message to a beeper or something like that, but like SMS isn't really a thing yet.
Okay, I think that something like, I'm thinking what I would have liked to do is say, I'll drive her to the hospital, everybody text me the questions you want me to ask her, and then I can like try to ask her those things on the way. I don't know, how long can a beeper message be?
Not long. They get
Not
like
that
I think
long.
they get like 25 characters or something.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's been a long time since I had a pager.
You
of
were
any
doing
kind.
kind of one of like Jester's messages just there. You were exceeding the character limit by quite a bit.
Are you pooping?
Yeah.
I just googled it. SMS was first introduced by Vodafone in 1992, but didn't become widespread until the early 2000s.
Wow.
I
Okay.
remember having a text by like hitting like the keys several times to get the
Exactly.
right letter.
Oh,
God.
I got so fast doing that.
I
That
know
was-
you were like.
I was in high school at the time, so that was how I was like communicating with my friends.
Oh, it was incredible. The minute I could not talk to people, loved it. But I'm gonna. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I got a bunch of questions for Jane, all centered on Scott
I
Adams.
might-
When did you meet him? How did you meet him? When did you
I
last
might like
see him?
leave.
I mean, before I plus
I might like leave Jane sitting on the bed, and just be like, I'm just gonna go talk to my coworker over here for a second, and then I can like write down the list of questions that you have, or maybe I would just be really good at remembering stuff that you said, and you could like tell me what you want to ask her, or you could come.
I want my specific interest is anything and everything that she's got on Scott Adams. The other parts of this, you guys have been looking into it, I haven't, but I need to know when you plan to leave, because somebody needs to try very hard to not let June Cook see a very pregnant Jane Allen walk out of a hotel room that's rented by a strange man from out of town.
Oh, boy, yeah.
I will distract. You know, I will do what I can to put her attention elsewhere when you guys are ready to split. But that is, anybody who sees that becomes the number one story in town.
Well, first things first is I'm going to take her vitals and just sort of give her. Again, my character's a paramedic. He's not a doctor, but he can take some preliminary vital, like, is her heart rate up? Is her breathing normal?
Exactly.
Is her blood pressure normal? And he could put a stethoscope to her belly and see if there's any weird ass sounds.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
You go through everything that you were trained to do, a full exam. When you're completely not sure what's going to be wrong with someone, because like you said, your training is mostly keep the blood inside, keep them breathing.
Get them to a hospital.
Sorry, keep the blood inside. That's great.
Yep.
Keep the guts and blood inside long enough for a doctor to do something better.
Exactly. And so you take a standard set of vitals. Her heart rate's a little rapid. You think no more than can be explained by her general emotional state, and she does seem maybe hungry. She says she hasn't eaten since this time yesterday, and that was a bag of chips.
We could totally stop at a McDonald's on the way to the urgent care.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, calorie for dollar back then, man, that was the best.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, she's doing okay. And when you hold the stethoscope to her belly, you can make out a strong and regular fetal heartbeat as well. And you're not an OB, but you don't think that anything sounds out of the ordinary. It sounds like a strong and healthy fetus that just happens to be, only 2 weeks old.
Miss Allen, before you head off to get someone much more qualified to tell you exactly how okay you are, because you everything sounds fine and normal. What's the last thing you remember before realizing you were pregnant?
Before I realized I was pregnant, that was about 2 weeks ago.
Is this before Billy Ray left?
Yeah, actually it was about the same time that Billy Ray went missing. I didn't realize he had gone missing until everything happened with him and his dad, and then he was on the run, and I was afraid for him, and I was watching TV hoping that I would hear that he was okay, and then I just started throwing up, and I started to realize over the next day that I was getting bigger, and I got a test, and it was positive, and over the course of a few minutes, where she tries to pull herself back together and continue explaining, you get a sense that she doesn't have any sense that she has missing time. She also says that her dad has been super busy, her mom's a little out of it, and Billy had people notice that he was missing and she didn't. But she also was confused about Billy apparently having been missing for a while because she didn't realize that he had been gone for a day.
That's when, okay. Alright. I'm just gonna look up at Jennifer there and be like, and just, there's nothing I can't convey anything with a look, but what he's thinking of is this whole damn town lost a day. Alright. So, Billy Ray came to see you the last time before he went missing, and he left at night, right?
That's right.
And he left your apartment, he went home, and you started noticing you getting yourself bigger over the next couple of days while you were at your mom's house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I didn't... Billy and I, we did, I mean, you know, if it's anyone, it's him, but... And she just kind of looks down at her belly and she says, "This ain't normal. It ain't right. I came to Scott and he said that he knew what was going on, or that he could at least find people who could find out, and that he would help me get out of town, that something was wrong with the whole town, and that he would need to get me out of here when he could. But then he stopped showing up 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
I've been so hungry. He was bringing me food in here, and he stopped. He said he was having headaches, but... Is he okay?
We're gonna go check on him.
Yeah.
But I think you need to get yourself checked out. Miss Jennifer, I want to have just a quick word with you before you take her out, alright?
Sure.
So gonna move to the side and be like, okay. I don't want to say this. I have to. If you take her out of this town to any other place, if something is in her that's like what happened in 202, this infection could get way out of hand. I am really spitballing, but I'm just saying, you see anything weird, you bring her right back here.
I think the only way I can get her to go to a doctor is if we go to another town, but I'm hoping that the doctor will perform some sort of ultrasound or something. Maybe we could get some information there.
If there's something strange in there, with an ultrasound, suddenly with this breach is a lot bigger than we thought.
At least then we'll know.
How far away is the field office we drove here from?
It's about an hour away. It's a little further than the actual closest urgent care, but you think that it wouldn't be hard to convince Jane to, go to Knoxville and the field office and drop her off with Agent Derringer, because he at least has other Delta Green friendlies who can look at her, who have already seen Billy Ray.
Oh yeah, that's true. We got some medical people down there. Oh, that's a good idea. Like this is screaming everything that I would not do in real life. Yeah, so maybe that's what we.
So as you kind of pack her up in the van and start to decide where to take her and who's going to do it, let's take a little intermission and come back after that. Let's take about 10 minutes. And we're back. The agents have finally found Billy Ray Spivey's girlfriend, Jane Allen. She was hiding out in Scott Adams' extra motel room. Hiding out from everyone who knows her in town because over the past 2 weeks, she has gone from completely unaware of her pregnancy to blown up like a balloon. Mr. Adams apparently told her that he could help her out before he disappeared.
I don't know how he could have thought that he could help her.
Fair.
Like, especially if he thought that there was an alien baby in her. Like, what in the world does he think he can do about that?
Uh-huh.
Maybe he was gonna get her a weird, like, alien coat hanger abortion.
Wow.
Too much?
I don't know. This is Delta Green, man. I don't know where is the too much meter in there. Anyway.
So, you have loaded her up in your in one of your vehicles, with a promise that that Blake would drive her to the nearest urgent care, and then you also, went and talked amongst yourselves and decided, maybe you should actually take her over to Agent Derringer at the FBI. They're already dealing with Billy Ray Spivey. She seems like another case of the same thing. So, we will cut to she and Jane and Blake are in the van, headed east, back toward Knoxville and the FBI field office. It's maybe an hour drive, nothing major. And you still have a creepy crawly to deal with in room 202.
Yeah, good luck.
Ugh, I don't even like spiders. Well, here we go. So is it what? It's gonna be me and Jasmine on this part?
Yeah. At the moment, I think it's just the two of you. If you decide to head over there now, then that's what we'll do.
Toss a coin to the Witcher. All right. Any game plan here from Agent Jazzman?
This has bad idea written all over it.
I know.
But we can't let that situation just linger.
Nah, I mean, we might have just infected a whole... Well, I'm glad that you thought of sending her to the field office instead of infecting a whole other town. Staying on actual mission.
Would the field office, like, have medical...
I mean, they were taking care of Spivey, so...
Okay.
Yeah, they had doctors and stuff there.
I'll definitely tell her that we're, like, going to FBI field office, because those are the medical professionals that I trust the most.
You would find that if you mention that you're taking her where Billy Ray is, and he's doing as well as he possibly can be in his circumstances, that would certainly help her feel like she's in the right place.
Okay, good.
Hopefully her circumstances don't change during the drive over because things are happening rapidly.
Oh! That's the second comment Colby's gotten about that idea.
Idea, I missed it.
Going and giving me
Oh,
ideas.
during the break, I was like, oh my god, she's probably gonna have some weird alien baby inside of her. Like, we're gonna be on the road on the way to the hospital, and she's gonna be like, it's time!
Look, I mean, we have all seen the X-Files episode where Scully is pregnant with the alien baby, so, I mean, let's just... Paranoia begins!
Oh. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
So what do you think the gameplay? I mean, if we trap it, then what? If we shoot it, people gonna hear that shot.
Yeah, I think if we
all
could
of our
trap
options
it,
are terrible.
I think if we could trap it, that is ideal. If we could, I don't know what it's capable of. We might, trap it in a box that drills itself right out.
It can walk and it can swim. That's all I know. And I saw one it. That doesn't mean there's only one it. I just only saw one.
Great.
I don't know, but that room was darkened as much as possible for a reason. So, I mean, it's a shot in the dark, but maybe that thing doesn't respond well to bright light. So, you need to open up open up the blinds, turn on
It's a
all
good
the
idea.
lights,
Like kind of like a vampire spider.
Yeah, and grab a couple of road flares out of the vehicle. Hold it like a torch or something. I mean, maybe if the thing hates. I mean, nobody wants a torch, a road torch stuck in their face, regardless. But I mean, I don't know. I'm spitballing here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's
If that thing jumps at me, I'm blasting it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea though. Let's go in there, open up all the, get the lights on, open up all the windows. Too bad we don't have like a UV light or something. Even better.
Now, what we would ask Max to do is just kind of like take the laptop outside, or and sit on a chair, whatever. Basically, to the extent you could ask him to do so, just a little bit of crowd control. Don't let anybody get near that door, especially if we open up, the blinds or curtains or whatever it is.
Okay.
All right. So that's our plan.
Yeah, but I would ask Max real quick. I mean, he's going to spend some time with that laptop, but I would ask him right out of the gate. I know you need more time, but anything jump out at you right away? Like recently accessed files, anything immediately jump out at you? Anything about small creature,
Max?
about yay big, weird as fuck looking?
Max has gotten past the initial password and shows you the image file for Adams's most recent zine publication. Which I will put on the board, and I suppose I could make that visible to our viewers as well.
The conspiracy is real. I want to believe. Hey, look, Convergence. Ding! That's the title of the show.
Convergence.
They said the title!
I had geometry class early. I was asleep a lot. I don't know what a convergence is.
That's where 2 points meet.
Alright.
I don't know, man. I feel like, well, I mean, it's typical par for the course, right? We feel like we have like a third of the story right now, and I doubt we're getting any more.
Just in case time's a factor, Yoder, you want to get some medical supplies out. If this goes really sideways, I don't want to be digging around for shit. Let's just have everything ready.
I already brought it with me because I had it when I checked out out Miss Allen.
Okay.
So I got it right here.
I've got two plastic tubs I took out of the other room that had camera shit in them. It's like, what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to corner it? Are we trying to get inside a tub, stomp on it?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
Do you have like a glass to put over it, like it's a spider?
I got big plastic tubs. I don't want to have to cut it that close, man.
Yeah. Horseshoes and hand grenades for this. All right. Plan A.
I'm just putting on like gloves. If I have to, the thickest gloves that I happen to have on me. If I end up having to grab that thing, I'd prefer to not grab it barehanded.
Sure.
I'm gonna double bag my hands with latex gloves, right? Just in case. I'm gonna give them a mask too, like just a paper. I don't know if we got respirators, but that would be better. But
oh, that's good. I mean, put on like a K95 mask and like shooting glasses or whatever, just to prevent liquids getting.
Yeah, nothing can get in there.
Orifice.
Yeah.
And so plan A, trap it in the box, open up all the
Which one of
windows.
us? Whoever has the best shot at it.
Yeah.
Or you want to trap it and me cover fire, or do you want to coax it? How about this? We'll flip a coin.
All right.
Care. I think somebody should coax and somebody should trap. You got a preference?
They both sound equally terrible. So, all right. Heads, I'll trap. Tails, I'll coax. I'll just roll a 1d2. 1 is heads, 2 is tails. Okay. Or not. Tails, I'm gonna coax.
Kurt, who's going you? All right.
What's that?
Okay.
Need a broom.
Let's do it.
So, you head back over to room 202.
Yeah.
As before, it's still, Kurt turned on some lights along the way. It's a dark, it's darker in the back. Nothing has moved appreciably as you open the door again. Nothing tries to skitter past you. Nothing is moving when you open the door. You slowly head into the bathroom again, where you see poor Mr. Adams there in the tub, heavyset, soaking in his own blood from the smell of it for a day or two at this point. He, just to give it a little bit more detail, the odor's bad. Certainly the blood and the smells of early decomposition. Many of his clothes are folded neatly on top of the dresser. Others are thrown in the corner of the room. There are containers of, like Pringles and Bugles and any kind of junk food that you can get at a gas station seemed to be his favorite. So as you head into the back, you kind of have to kick a Twinkie wrapper out of the way, and there once again is his body. There's no growth on his forehead visible. He hasn't moved. The surface of the water is perfectly still. He's in his like early, maybe mid-30s, heavy set, curly black hair, bushy beard. He's wearing boxer shorts and a t-shirt with a logo, and it says Knoxville Fantasy Con 1989. And you can see very clearly the slashes up his wrists seem like very effective suicide.
So this has the appearance of being... those wounds specifically have the appearance of being self-inflicted?
They absolutely do. But at the same time, his face is still stuck in that rictus of pain, maybe fear, as if he was struggling and fighting. But then there's no other outward signs of any of that.
All right. Jane said he had an awful headache that he wasn't going away. You said there was a growth on his head?
Yeah, there was about yay big, kind of looked like a big mushroom fungus, giant, really ugly ass wart. And then it spread legs. And last time I saw it, it splooshed in there somewhere. Might still be there. It might have gone somewhere else. Give you
That's
$20 if you reach down and pull the plug.
That's a lot of blood.
Well, it's mixed in with some water, but yeah, that's a lot of.
That's a lot of
going on.
I don't know if you know how, illnesses work, but blood's a really good carrier. Let's see, I'm gonna see if there's a if the way you empty this tub. Boy, this is just destroying evidence all over the place. Is externally, or if you gotta reach to the bottom and pull it.
This is one of those with a it's got a plug. The motel very helpfully has it chained to the faucet for the bathtub, kind of like how a bank will chain down their pens. So you can actually kind of head forward, reach for the chain, which itself, as overfilled as this tub is, you still are going to have to reach into the water at least a few inches to get that chain and pull the plug.
It's still within reach of my gloves, still keeping my hands safe?
Probably not, unfortunately.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to look for, something I can use, like a little pole or something. Like a stick.
I believe you probably have something. It has the word Remington written on the side of it.
I mean, I can use the shot.
Like a medical pack would have like big tweezers, right?
Yeah, like forceps or...
Yeah. What are forceps?
Well, I could try that. I'll take something out of my bag and be like, well, sacrifice to the blood gods, I guess, and he's have to try and fish it out so that we can...
Right before he does that, I just grab the trash bag out of the trash can in the bathroom, and just you want to slap this bad boy on top?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Eli reaches toward that chain, maybe with a medical clamp or something like that.
Yep.
You get hold of the chain. You do have to lower your hand ever so slightly into the water, and you feel something brush past your knuckles, deeper than you can see into the water, but something moved in there, and you yank the
It's in there.
yank the plug as you try and hold off panic. I would like a sanity check for Eli.
This would really trigger. Of course, it's got to trigger it. Triggering me.
Yeah, reaching into a big tub full of blood and something's moving in there. Yeah, that triggers a sanity roll.
I just hit the sanity points one, right?
Oh, sick.
Yes.
Oh shit.
All right, so that is a failure, and you're going to lose 1 point of sanity due to the unnatural.
That's not bad.
So you do, adrenaline floods your body. Your skin breaks out in a cold sweat. You jump back, heart pounding, and the water starts to drain away. Tell me exactly what both of you are doing.
I'm going. It's brush past my hand. It's in there. Something's in there, and I'm like getting the bag off my hand and throwing the clamp down, reaching for the fucking shotgun.
All right, so you throw stuff out of your hands. You bring the shotgun up. What about Kurt? Is he just gun drawn covering?
Yeah, because gun drawn covering, but he will reach out for any like a bath sized full size bath towel and just throw it over his shoulder. Not because he's read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and knows the utility of towels. But because, like, if this thing's skittering around, like, if he has to basically, like, pounce on it on an uneven surface, that plastic tub is useless. But if he can basically just kind of smother it with a towel,
absolutely
create some options for himself.
All right, so gun in your hands, towel over your shoulder, covering the tub as Eli startles back, clearly panicked, dropping stuff, bringing the shotgun up in one hand, and it's this exact moment that the you can hear the drain beginning to gurgle as water rushes down out of the bathtub, and then the sound of draining water stops. There's a beat, and then the surface of the water, right between Adams's feet, bursts upward, splattering bloody water all over the room. Some part of that splash seems to be flesh-toned, and it rushes in the direction of Eli, and we'll cut to the van where Blake is driving Jane Allen, and so you're just on the road heading out of Groversville. Jane's in the passenger seat. She had trouble even figuring out how to latch herself into the van. As you head over the tracks and you start picking up speed on the highway heading east, she says, "I don't feel good." and she doubles over. She says, "Oh my god, it hurts so bad."
Oh my god, no! No!
What do you do?
Panic. Am I alone with her?
You are.
Shit.
Well, it's a good thing that the paramedic is with the crazy, creepy thing.
Yeah. What a relief to be completely alone with no other medical professionals.
It's not hard. She's going to do most of the work. You just catch.
Yep. Great.
So you're behind the wheel. You're on the highway, going highway speed already when she doubles over.
I can call the hospital? How far away from the hospital are we?
You're expecting another 50 or so minutes of driving.
It's happening. This is happening.
Yeah.
We're having a baby.
And
Sure, it's fine.
You're having a something.
yeah,
You're going to have something.
It's gonna be a baby.
Do you like pull over on the side of the road to deliver? Do you like pedal to the metal and try to get to the FBI field office? Do you call while you're driving?
I think that I would pull over, call the FBI field office, and perhaps someone there could walk me through what to do. Do we have loudspeaker? Sure. Can I put them on loudspeaker? Like, I was bringing her to medical professionals, so I could perhaps, like, be advised by those things. Sorry, I walked too far away from my computer.
It's okay. I think we got most of that.
Anyway, so I will call the FBI field office, and hopefully someone there will be like, okay, I know what to tell you to do.
Okay.
And I will try to project calm.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Jane.
You get, you actually have Agent Derringer's direct number, which this is exactly the sort of thing that he would want you to call him first, and he'll he'll put you in touch with the approved medical staff. And his, once you get him on the phone, his immediate orders are, get her here now. He says, if somebody tries to pull you over, call me again and I'll call them off or turn them into an escort for you. But see how fast that van can go.
Okay. We're going.
Okay.
Let's go. Do I have, like, one of those little, like, single red lights? Like the magnetic ones that you, like, reach out the window and, like, turn it on? You know what I'm talking about?
I absolutely do. You might.
I feel like I might.
Whether Blake knows where in this very expensively set up van, whether she knows where to find that thing or not is another question. Why don't you give me a straight intelligence check? First of all.
Okay. Sorry, I guess I closed my sheet.
That's all right. And meanwhile, so you pull open the glove box as Jane is yelling and crying as she holds her hands up. They're wet, and she says, "I didn't pee myself. I don't know what's happening."
No.
And she is beginning to panic in the seat next to you, but you keep it together. As Agent Derringer told you to do. You pedal to the metal, and before too long, you're hitting 95, 100 on this 2-lane highway through the sticks.
Yeah, definitely.
I would like you to roll drive for me. And just so you know, this is not like succeed this roll or crash. I just want to see, like, in this really urgent situation, how good of a job is Blake doing? And
not a bad job.
Not a bad job at all. knowing that this is a case where, like, the FBI is going to back you up if any cops try to stop you, knowing that, you've got one solution, you absolutely do find out what it's like to literally jam the gas pedal to the floor. The engine roars as you take turns as fast as you dare. And we'll cut back to room 202.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm just imagining like the TV show of this, like leaving you hanging and like flipping back to the other characters.
As red splashes out of this bathtub, the water begins to drain again. It spatters both of you with bloody, like weak bloody water. But part of that splash is not bloody water, it's more of a flesh tone. And it lunges out of the water toward Eli. You have your shotgun up.
Yeah.
This is going to be the only way we're going to use initiative this time around, is just comparing your dexterity versus its dexterity. What is your dexterity score?
It's tan.
It's dexterity.
Okay, so it's faster than Eli. It's got a 15. So before you're fumbling, trying to jam your finger through the trigger guard, and take a shot. It's moving so fast, you can't even get to it, and your shotgun recoils strangely before your finger even touches the trigger. Nothing hits you. However, when you finally do get your finger on the trigger, you look down at the muzzle of the shotgun and you watch as the perfectly round steel barrel starts to contort and crumple just right at the muzzle, at the choke.
Have you ever seen a grown man throw a shotgun in fear? You're about to.
Yeah, so it's like, this shotgun could have had a giant ugly centipede on it or something like that, and you'd react very similarly. You toss the shotgun in front of you in the general direction of the tub.
Yep.
What is Kurt's reaction as this thing lunges toward Eli and Eli throws the shotgun away from himself?
Well, where is this thing now, and what is its? How much of it am I seeing, and what is its size?
You saw just a blur of movement, but whatever it was, it's no bigger than like a sparrow. This is nothing large in any way. But as Eli tosses the shotgun splashes down into the water that is now draining away from Scott Adams' body.
I mean, do I feel like I have any real chance of success by disrupting it by just throwing that towel on it? I don't know where it is.
It's on the top. It's in the gun. Just trap it.
Yeah, the shotgun lands on Adams's chest, and you feel like you could just toss that towel on top of it, wrap the whole thing up.
Yeah, Eli thinks it's in the gun because he felt an impact and then it began to disintegrate. So he assumes it's on the gun. Man, I just keep getting an image of like the old 80s when of like a girl's dorm room when there's a mouse. Like, this is how two grown men should be reacting to this.
That's pretty good. Is everybody like standing up on a chair?
Yeah, so okay. Kill it! No, see, he's Yeah, he's got a quick. He's like, quick! I think it's on the gun. I felt it hit it, and then something strange happened, and I threw it.
The gun.
Yeah, that's why I threw it. I didn't throw it away. I didn't like it. I'm not adverse.
Yeah. So if you want to toss that towel at it, you could roll dexterity for me.
It won't do much, but it might
Highlight it.
create enough confusion to buy myself time to do something else. So, all right. Ooh. Success.
Hey,
Very nice.
Success.
It's all very, even though you were ready for trouble, it's all very startling. You know, you don't make it look cool or anything, but you toss the towel over the shotgun, and you can see at the muzzle of the shotgun, the towel starts to move a little bit, like something is literally crawling out of the barrel of the shotgun. And it's making back for the bloody water.
I'm gonna
But
grab.
there is a go for it, yeah.
I was gonna grab one of the tubs and see if we can't slam it down on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just try and trap the damn thing.
Yeah, so you watch the thing starting to scurry out from the barrel of the shotgun and toward the water, and you grab one of the Rubbermaid tubs and just slam it down on Adam's chest. You could swear you hear a bone creak.
That's alright. He wasn't using it.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. He even gives kind of a wheeze as you put some pressure on his chest. But you slam that tub down, and you feel a thump from inside, like something was on its way somewhere and it hit the inside of that tub.
Slide it down so we can have more of a solid base, like off his body, and maybe towards the bottom of the tub somewhere. I don't know how much room he's got, but
yeah,
that's the plan.
Excellent. And is Kurt doing anything else to aid in this?
Nope.
Well, I can assume I can tell what he's trying to do, and
yeah.
I am trying to simultaneously do anything that is helpful and avoid doing anything that gets in his way. But I am going to reach for, it's in a pocket or a pouch. Before we left the field office initially, I grabbed a couple of items of special gear that I told Kobe about, so I'm not retconning this. I am going to facilitate my access to that thing I told you about a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Oh man, now I'm curious.
Because if we can get that thing trapped in the tub on a flat surface, I got an idea.
Nice. Yeah. So you pull a pouch open, and that you had hanging on your belt, kind of under your jacket, and pull a heavy cylinder out, and you're ready there. And I'll essentially, I'm having us in sort of a very loose initiative order here, but you ready yourself to use every tool at your disposal, and otherwise you try to keep out of Eli's way, only do things that are helpful. And Eli, as you're kind of sliding the tub around, trying to figure out when you've trapped this thing, water is draining through the tub, or you've trapped some water in the tub, and you can actually see that something is moving around in there. It's swimming around, with as much agility as any fish, but you just cannot nail down a shape at all. It's more like just a rapidly swimming blob. At one point, it smacks up against the tub, facing toward you, and it's like a giant. It's like a giant single-celled organism. It just kind of splats. It's got pseudopods that reach and seem to try and press against the Rubbermaid tub. And then the water stops draining again. You can hear that sound, a few bubbles, and the water stops moving for a half second. And then from Eli's left, the water bursts again, and something bigger, like a tongue or a pseudopod or a tentacle, bursts up out of the water and slams down against the Rubbermaid container, cracking it, and then withdraws back down into the water.
You saw that, right? That was not completely my imagination. That was something I just saw.
Yes.
May have peed a little bit.
Yep, some kind of pseudopod just reached up at you from the drain.
From the... Oh, shit! Jasmine, I don't want to alarm anyone. I think we may have released some of this into the water system.
Yeah, and as you kind of recoil and step away, whatever it is rips the Rubbermaid container open. You can see whatever was in there flit down toward the drain. Everything withdraws down the drain, and the water once again begins to drain away from Scott Adams' body.
So, flurry of activity, momentary fear, lots of terrified, blank stares, and then just slowly turns to Jasmine. I really hate to say this. I think we fucked up.
A little bit of bloody water kind of drips down your face as you're talking.
And immediately start wiping off. I'm glad we're wearing masks and glasses and shit, because oh god.
Dude, I feel like a face shield would have really come in handy at this time.
Yeah.
It was already there. We didn't make anything any worse than it already was.
Well, something.
And as an added bonus, we're not dead.
No,
Docking your pay for that shotgun, though.
Oh, come on. I didn't... Look, I've just got to check the gun now. I want to see, was it actually disintegrating, or was I imagining it?
You fish the Remington shotgun out of the tub. It had sort of rolled off of Adams's body and down on one of his slashed wrists. And as you pull it up, you look at the muzzle, and whatever that was got into the barrel of the shotgun, and then seems to have pushed the barrel out of shape.
I'm just gonna kind of show it to him, like, this is what we're dealing with. It just bent gunmetal. And reached... I'm never sitting on the toilet again the same way. I mean, it reached out of the drain. I used to be afraid of snakes, like curling up out of my toilet bowl.
Like in real life?
No, he's saying this. I mean, in real life too, but Central Pennsylvania, you get copperheads and shit. So, but they generally don't end up in water because they can't swim, or can they? Oh man, I don't know that.
Better not look it up.
I briefly lived in Honduras, and we used to, anytime our toilets for some reason would sometimes go dry, and lose that the P trap water, and we would have like centipedes and stuff crawling up from the pipes.
Yeah, and that's like the real centipedes, not little house
eyebrow
looking things. Yeah, no, the kind with the
They're fast. They've got fangs. They're aggressive.
I'd have just burned the house down and be like, well, it's theirs now.
That house also did almost burn down, but that's a different story.
So I started searching Giphy for snakes in toilet gifs to be funny.
Why?
And I can't even look at any more of them. There are too many freaky gifs under that search.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of rats and spiders and spiders.
Yeah, enjoy sitting on the pot after that.
Oh man.
Ooh, the frogs one.
Yeah, the frogs one is really freaky.
Well, anyway,
I freaked myself out.
You're welcome.
So as Kurt and Eli kind of start to wipe the blood from their faces, we'll cut away from them, and engine still roaring. Blake and Jane are approaching Knoxville. You come into town. You navigate toward the FBI field office. It's about the only place in town you know about. And as you pull in, Jane's crying from fear and pain has just as you stop the car, the cries of pain turn to a blood-curdling scream as she doubles over in pain again. One of Derringer's EMTs rushes out to help her. She's just wearing just like jeans and a t-shirt, and she's had to have the jeans unbuckled. But as she's getting out, Blake, you look over and you see she's looking down at her crotch, and all, in an instant, the jeans go from wet, from the water breaking, to a burst of blood that suddenly soaks her jeans. She begins to pass out, and you could swear you can see something trying to push through the crotch of her jeans. I need you to make a sanity check.
Okay.
Against the unnatural.
I feel like I need to make that too, just hearing it.
Nice. Critical success.
Hey.
11 under 89. Yeah, that's weird. You've also seen a burning zombie run into the woods. It's not the weirdest thing you've seen. So you take no sanity loss. But Derringer and his EMT... Derringer's EMT yells, She's in labor now? And Derringer just kind of nods. He says, "Get her inside." He then goes around to Blake's side of the car, looks in at you, says, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I think I'm okay. Let's make sure she's okay and see whatever's happening to that baby.
He nods, and the two of you rush around to help her. She's only half conscious as you essentially, between the three of you, carry her in through the like back cargo entrance of the field office, and you can hear ripping by the time she gets to the exam room, and a teeny tiny soft pink little baby hand pushes its way through the material of her jeans, grabs some, rips it away. The strength is incredible.
That's terrifying.
And let me think here. What are you doing?
Deciding never to have children.
Definitely that. Definitely that. And also, I'm thinking like I would probably be trying to like watch and remember everything. Like if someone came up and like stole your phone out of your pocket, you would like try to remember what they looked like.
Uh-huh.
You know? And like which direction they ran.
Yeah, so you're just watching
stuff like that.
to catalog every piece of information you can gather.
Yes. I'm hoping that like somebody here knows like something else, something like some action to take.
Yeah. So you are basically just watching. The EMT is getting her, gets her up on the table. You watch as it's like there's a snake trying to pull its way out of her pants, and you watch as it rips at the seam of the jeans. They come away almost completely, and it's hard to see anything in the like red ruin of Jane's body, but you can see a pink, almost completely bald, extremely normal-looking baby, newborn, wrinkled, eyes sort of clamped shut. It gives a wail as it begins to pull itself out of her. Agent Derringer next to you slams his hand onto a button. An alarm starts to sound in the building. Men with M16s rush in first. He looks over at them. He says, "It's protomatter. Burn it." One of them.
Oh my God!
Leaves. Jane Allen is only moving when it moves at this point. Her face is blue and slack. She has completely lost consciousness.
I would probably be trying to do some kind of like check to see if she's breathing. Should I do CPR?
So you rush over to her. The EMT was standing still for just a second, saying, "What the fuck?" And just as he says that, the baby reaches for him, grabs his shirt sleeve, and he just recoils, and the sleeve rips as he pulls himself away.
Oh God.
You go and you check Jane. Give me a first aid roll.
I have a 70 in that.
Excellent.
Damn.
Excellent. Keeping it cool. You know your first aid. You know to check. Her pulse is a little weak, thready. She's definitely in shock, but she's alive.
Yeah, so I kind of think of my character as someone who may have worked at like a mental health institution.
Yeah,
and has probably who has probably dealt with like people in having like schizophrenia episodes or like people on too much drugs, or so like she's been in like high stress, like people are being wacky situations and like doing things that are unexpected, and would also have some training on like how to like grapple people without hurting them.
Yeah.
Just so we're all aware.
Yeah, just throwing it out there. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've checked on Jane, and she is alive. If she can stay that way, then you can probably save her. What's the next thing that you're going to be doing? Meanwhile, ever so slightly behind you, Agent Derringer, you hear, metal on leather as he draws his sidearm and aims it at the blood-covered baby.
You know what? This is a situation where I am gathering from these people that they know what the shit is happening. So, like, if, like, a dog ran in the room and someone else was like, "That's the dog that gave my kid rabies yesterday," I would be like, "Okay, you seem to know what's going on. I'll follow your lead. I'm putting my hands up, and you're in charge now."
Okay. So you've checked on Jane. You step away. Agent Derringer, without hesitation, walks forward. He puts his SIG to the baby's head, pulls the trigger. The blast of the gun is nearly deafening in the little exam room. And the baby does not stop moving. It stops using its head to look around, and it kind of flips over and starts to skitter on all fours, still attached by the umbilical cord.
This is so fucked.
It starts to crawl down off the exam table, trying to take cover. One of the guards points his M16 and lets off a 3-round burst at it. And you are rapidly deafened in this small room full of gunfire and blood.
Yeah, definitely covering my ears with my hands. I am hoping that they can kill it, I guess. I'm like, this is horrible, horrible imagery for there to be like a baby and they're like shooting at it. But there's like several things that are making me feel like this is the right thing to do, and I'm just like having to set aside my like instinct for not killing a baby. Because like they seem to know what is happening and that it needs to be destroyed. I've just seen a baby get shot in the head and keep moving around, and so like I hope that the people with guns get it. Ooh, do I still have a gun? Should I try and shoot it?
I gave you mine.
Yeah, maybe I should give that a shot. Okay, yeah. So I'll pull out the gun and like do my best.
Well, what kind of gun were you given? I don't remember.
It's just a 9mm. It's
you
not
got a Beretta. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Beretta 9.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll your firearms.
I have a 20% in that.
All right. Excellent.
I mean, just don't flub it.
Yeah, you pull the gun. It's you just kind of stuck it in a pocket. It snags on the pocket on the way out. The Beretta 92 is a very it's a pistol with many snag points. When you finally get it out, you start pulling the trigger, and there's no click, there's no nothing. And you start looking it over, trying to figure out the safety. Meanwhile, Derringer yells at you, "Don't bother with that!" And he grabs you by the elbow and just heaves both of you toward the door and out into the hallway as another FBI agent, just in his normal working clothes, rushes down the hallway in a suit, a cheap suit, cheap tie, and a flamethrower backpack on his back. And Derringer just pulls you away from the room, and you feel the heat as that agent starts cooking one corner of that exam room. At this point, I think you should roll another sanity check for violence.
Oh, I don't know. That was an accident.
No problem.
Yep.
Wow.
I've seen violence before.
89.
This
Under
at least
89.
got your eye to twitch a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm definitely having a bad time. Like I'm definitely like having a lot of big feelings, and like this is definitely an emergency situation. So I'm like full of adrenaline, and like this is horrifying.
Yeah, this is absolutely fucked. You're gonna lose 1 point of sanity from that success, but you do hold it together. So as the FBI tries to destroy whatever this was, without burning down the entire field office, agents are running this way and that, and fire extinguishers come out, and the EMT rushes back in. Jane is badly burned but alive. They rush her away from there and toward another recovery room. And Derringer just keeps you there in the hallway, looking like he isn't sure what to do. But he kind of shrugs and looks to you, yells a little bit louder than he needs to, for anyone who wasn't in that room and isn't completely deafened. But he kind of yells to you, "Let's go to a conference room and talk."
Shit, okay, I guess. Who's taking care of Jane?
He says, she'll be taken care of. We've got friendlies here.
Okay, good. Just checking.
And he pulls you over to the conference room where you got your initial briefing. And just kind of sits, and he says, "That is the most horrible thing I've ever had to do with a gun."
Yeah, I bet.
And he looks at his hands, and you can see his hands are shaking. And he says, "I've been doing this for decades. Today I shot a
what
baby."
exactly?
He looks at you and he just says, the program.
Ah.
I've shot people, sure. Both for the program and outside. Never that. Oh, this is gonna be my last, mission. I'm done with this shit. He kind of runs a hand through his hair and he says, Billy Ray Spivey's dead. Died a couple hours ago.
What happened?
We're not entirely sure, but he looks you dead in the eyes and he says, whatever that shit is, it abandoned him. It crawled out of his body. And we had to burn it. And him.
I heard you call it something.
It's just it's a name that myself and a couple of other friendlies have been using for it. It's calling it protomatter because it's you get it under a microscope and it can be human cells. It can be any human cell as far as we can tell. And it can be other things too. It reshapes itself however it wants. I was gonna call you back, have one of you come back or send a courier. The nerds here have figured out a marker. There's a spray. You ever used luminol? It's
I think I might have heard of that.
It's a spray used in crime scene investigation. It, you spray it on somewhere. If there's hemoglobin, even if it's been cleaned up, even with bleach, it'll glow under a UV light. This works like that. We'll give you a couple bottles of a spray. You can spray it on anything you want, and then it'll fluoresce under UV.
The proto
matter.
That will glow?
Yeah.
Okay.
We tried it on Spivey first. And I'm going to tell you this. I haven't said this to anyone else because anyone else would think I'm crazy, but when I sprayed that on Billy Ray Spivey and I shined a light on it, he was crisscrossed with 1,000 little lines of it. It was everywhere in his body. And I think it realized that I knew it was there. And when it realized that, it fled him.
Have we figured out a way to kill it?
Hot enough fire will do it.
What's more important, killing it or making sure that nobody knows about it?
You should, you should know enough about this organization that we want both. But if people had to live their lives knowing something like this even exists anywhere, least of all in a friendly little town in Tennessee, it would be the end of our civilization. Riots, food shortages. Wouldn't matter how many people the protomatter killed, we would kill each other.
Okay, so make sure no one knows about it. Got it.
If this all comes down to us having to lose a nuke, find it in Groversville under a mushroom cloud, it will be a fitting end to my career. Please don't let it get there.
I will do my best.
And on that note, we will end this episode.
I thought we had a
Where
bad
does
day.
the therapist get her therapy? Because you're gonna need some.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I do have a therapist. My therapist character has a therapist.
Go.
Because I
Who I
don't
will
think
totally talk to
journaling's
about
going to
it.
cut it for this one.
Yeah, maybe not.
I was just thinking, like, when you get back, you'd be like, we're gonna be like, look, we gotta tell you something awful. You'd be like, no, 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 let me tell you something awful.
For real. I watched a baby get shot in the head.
And then burn. Like,
And then
there was
burn.
a tongue in a drain,
Oh,
and it bapped me.
sick.
You know, every time I think that we're gonna find something gross, it's always 10 times worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, gross, a little spider thing, and nope, pseudopod tongue. I'm like, oh,
Sick.
Drain tongue.
Oh.
brain tongue. That's a little hurtful. I thought
This is the second time that Kurt's master plan of let's cover it with a plastic lid has failed miserably.
You gotta get yourself a better plastic lid.
I think next time when you're like, let's just trap it, I'm like, plastic lid, really? It's not worked out so well for us.
Yeah, let's go get Kurt a Dutch oven, and he can use the lid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what works? Let's just get some flamethrowers, guys. I mean, just a hairspray and a lighter.
I mean, seems necessary.
If it works, it ain't stupid. Oh my god, that was. Whew. All right.
Yeah, that's what happens when you find things in Delta Green.
Oh, I'm like,
But
we're gonna do an investigation. We're gonna find out what happened. We're gonna solve the case. And then I'm like, well, I forgot what I'm playing.
nope, drain tongue.
Nope, drain tongue.
Yeah,
Drain
yeah.
tentacle.
I also keep thinking we're gonna like find something and solve the case. I'm like, oh, we're gonna figure something out now. Nope, we're just gonna see something horrible.
Everybody dies, goes down the drain. Just like our careers. This is the second time we've let shit escape. Just to be clear. We are 0-2.
Oh, be glad it wanted to escape and it didn't want to stay in that room with you.
Honestly,
trust me,
that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, I when we walked into 218 or 202 again, I'm like, well, do I have a backup character in mind? Because I'm pretty sure this might be.
Yeah,
this might be it.
The protomatter didn't succeed any of its roles, but it's got the capability of taking a character out if the rolls go just so.
Oh yeah,
Right?
I believe it. Oh boy.
Well,
I'm gonna keep it secret-ish still, but I'm not trying to be coy or anything, but like, would Yoder? I'll ask above the table. Would Yoder, with his background, have recognized what I took out of my little tactical fanny pack there?
it would have been a flashbang grenade.
Oh yeah, I would know.
I was gonna slide that in the Tupperware and just say, like, plug your ears.
That would have been. I love
Open
that
your mouth.
idea. Oh, well, one, it would have
Flashbang
blown
it
the.
inside.
It'd have destroyed the container
And the tub.
and the tub. I cut my legs, the ribbons with. I don't know. I mean, flashbang's mostly concussion, right?
Oh yeah, I mean enough fire that they can cause problems, but
Yeah,
they're
I'm
meant
just
to
gonna-
not injure anyone. That doesn't mean you want to be near them.
No, yeah. I mean, you're. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in the
I mean,
presence
if
of
you
a
know what's
flashbang going on.
coming, and you open your mouth and plug your ears and close your eyes, and you know it's coming. I mean, you get wallops pretty good, but you can function. But if you don't know it's coming,
Oh
Isn't
yeah.
a flashbang what they? Wasn't that what they did in the? Oh man, I am not giving enough information for this. There's like the guy who had a bunch of people in a house because
You're
he's a
thinking of
cult
Waco.
leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking of the Branch Davidians in Waco. Yes.
Oh, thank God.
The general thought is that flashbangs started the fire. Nobody's ever going to know for sure, or if somebody does,
They're not telling.
Yeah, they're not telling. But the the accepted story is that flashbangs were used. They started a fire. The Branch Davidians didn't leave, despite the fire.
Bad things happened.
Yep.
Yeah, I watched the whole documentary on Waco. It was intense. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, it's messed up.
But
Sure,
it's
where you
funny
going
how
with
that
Dutch oven with a flashbang duct taped inside of it. Nowhere? No, just running errands.
we're good. Everything's fine. We're hurrying because we want to get this on the table as quickly as possible. Never mind that is it moving? Nope.
Absolutely not. Rattle.
Absolutely. It's not it. That's just my nerves. That's it.
Anyway, thank you, players, for going through a very gruesome episode. Thank you, listeners, both now and in the future. And we will be back to see what kind of fallout there is from all of these discoveries at a sleepy little motel called Merle's Shut-Eye.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Have a great night.
Good night.
See you next time.
Good night.